7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Good evening, everyone. Welcome back to Through Black and White Eyes. I'm hungover, I'm tired, and I'm still absolutely buzzing from what an absolute fantastic result that was yesterday, which we're going to talk about in great detail because it's not often you score 5 goals, is it? And I better plug my laptop in because it's going to die. There we go. Mara award for me already. Right, guys, we don't have many of these left. The amazing powdered coated Newcastle crests, indoors, outdoors use. They're absolutely brilliant. Drop me a message on Twitter or via email in the description below to order yours. As soon as it's ordered, it's shipped out. There are Royal Mail strikes, which are causing delays for delivery, but I promise you it will turn up, and they're amazing badges. Great gift for Christmas, so please contact me if you would like one. Don't forget to smash the thumbs up button, hit the subscribe button if you're new to the channel, and if you would like to donate, $sign in the bottom right hand corner. Everything's welcome, 50p a pound, whatever anyone can afford if you really want to donate to the channel and help us grow and grow. And don't forget, link at the top of the chat, there it is. That is the link to become a member if you would like to tonight. We'll quickly go to some of the chats because Les is in. Good evening. Hey, you're making it on time every show now. That's amazing. Julie's managed to make it over, hungover. Yes, Thomas, what you like. Yeah, you had a lot of wine yourself, Jules. So let's not go there. And Jag, how's it going? It's going really well after yesterday. Let's bring Blade and Liam in. Obviously, I saw you at the game yesterday, guys. How are you doing today?
Croaky.
So was a judge.
Yeah, you wouldn't have drank too much.
No, I already had the one, and had to do a shoot straight after the match come home.
Yeah, so I was a mess by the end of the night, but it was good. It was a great night. I did this morning. Yeah, I was tongue stuck to my cheek and all that sort of stuff. I'm good, buddy. No hangover here in a 4-hour trip home. How did you not have an hangover of all that wine you were putting away? That's crazy. And having a 4-hour trip home as well is not good. And Blade equals Liam. Hey, I've lost that one.
Typo.
Possibly. Maybe. Or maybe because you said evening bars and then he meant and Blade and Liam maybe or something like that. Roy, thank you so much for the super sticker, mate. That's really, really generous of you, as always. Jules says, hey, Kev, Mogul, Blade. I call him Blade because that's how he introduced himself to me, and it's his name on Twitter. And then, he's always going to be called Blade from now on. And Lee has the plus sign. That's what you meant. Rather than the equal sign, you meant the plus sign. So, evening, guys. Right. So, I went to the game. I met up with these two retrobates beforehand, and also one of the retrobates afterwards. We went out and got very drunk. This is sort of what first of all, I just want to announce this, that I did put this out, that the girl was missing, but she has been found safe and sound. So it's some absolute amazing news, because that's, horrible hearing that someone might have gone missing, but she's been found safe and sound. So everyone can stop sharing now and just, say she's been found, which is great news. Newcastle's 1-year takeover and a win. Yeah, exactly. Even though Kevin, and hi guys, hi Graham. So this is what the day looked like. Obviously started outside Shearer's bar waiting for people to turn up. Obviously the bridge, I got to see Super Mac do a little bit of a talk beforehand as well, just talking about the game ahead. In the Dog and Parrot with Steve Rafe. And then we also saw in Plumbers, we saw John Anderson, which was quite nice as well. And that's when the drink started. I met Thomas, who is a mod on the channel, was a mod on the channel, but not anymore. He's in Denmark. He's the one whose missus is pregnant, having twins, and we've been friends for a while. It was nice to meet him. He's got his badge to take home as well, so even better. But we were, we had a lovely sunny day as well, which was absolutely amazing. Jules says, what a great weekend, amazing game and a great evening. Cheers all. You're welcome, Jules. It was great meeting up and having a drink with you and your partner. But this was the lineups. Was there any surprises to you, Blade? To me, there wasn't, because Eddie Howe likes to reward people for performances, and when you beat Fulham 4-1 away, it's very hard to drop players.
Yeah, I was surprised. Like, I thought Target and Joe Linton would be back in, but you called it on the last show. You said, no, you'll go with the same lineup, and he did.
Yeah, I mean, it's the one criticism I have of Eddie Howe, is that he's not ruthless enough sometimes. But when we talk about the game, he kind of got rewarded in his faith of the 11 that played. Liam, were you surprised at the lineups?
Nah, he does it enough now, I think, to realise that he doesn't drop players after a solid performance. He sort of keeps the winning team.
Yeah, is it a good thing or a bad thing? Putting aside yesterday's result, if it had gone differently, or if he carries on doing it in the future, is it? I mean, you look at Alex Ferguson and managers like that, they always pick their best 11 regardless. And if players like Maxi are back, Joe Linton are back, Target as a left back, you normally expect them to see them walk back in the team. So do you think it will be his downfall in the future? Does he have to be a little bit more meaner than what he is?
I think he has to sort of understand that picking the best 11's going to have to be his go-to. But I still think he doesn't have a best 11 yet because of all the injury worries and stuff that he's had, because he's had them come in and then they're going back out with injuries. So he could still be testing the waters. And I know obviously all quite a bit into the season now, but he still could be testing the waters, especially with Murphy and stuff, because we know that obviously he hasn't found his best position yet. And if he still has one, I don't know. But he seemed different. He seemed really different yesterday, Murphy.
Yeah, he did. Jules says, why is... I don't know what happened there. I don't know why that flashed off and flashed back on again. Why is Tony sitting on a little stool? I think it's because Brentford don't have a lot of money and it's all they could afford. But Blade, looking at the Brentford lineup, were you worried about anyone in there? I mean, the keeper was back, Rhea, who's very good normally. Tony has obviously got a little bit of wood over us, being an ex-player. Ben Mee, very good, solid centre-back. But there's nothing really with... When I looked at the team, I thought, we should be winning this game.
Yeah, there was nothing in there that really scared us. I mean, Baptiste, I like as a player, but he hasn't scored since I think his debut for them. So there wasn't really a threat there. We obviously looked at him, and obviously we picked some better defenders, and he didn't really look up to it. Pinnock obviously had an absolute mare of a game. But no, they didn't. Tony was obviously, I thought, could be an aerial threat. But then when you saw Botman in our back four, it was he's not an aerial threat with that.
Yeah, definitely not. Jumping a bit. Hey guys, first time watching you all. Fantastic game and score. I will stick to my guns and say we'll finish this season in 9th position. That is a very realistic position for us this year. I think top 10 quite comfortably. If you are on Facebook, you've got to accept StreamYard's settings for me to be able to know who you are. As you can see, it just comes up as Facebook user with no picture, so I'm not too sure who you are. But thanks for tuning in and watching. Please hit that subscribe button, which will help to grow this channel as well as growing our Facebook page. If anyone's interested in our Facebook page, it's Through Black and White Eyes. It's a private group. Just ask to join it. As long as you've got something on your Facebook page that says you're a Newcastle fan, we'll accept you into it and then kick you out if you're a knob. But everyone gets a chance. I'm amazed Damsgaard didn't start. Yeah, he's another name that was missing. Refreshing that large didn't make excuses at all. Yeah. That is refreshing because normally managers do, don't they? Tony is doing Tony. He's milking it. Yeah. I have also got the Man United game on. I did have it on. It was half time. Ronaldo scored his 700th league goal or something like that. Crazy. In shock news, I'm off. Typical Judy. Enjoy your quiz. Enjoy your wine again, and have a great night. These are the players that were missing from both teams potentially. Obviously, St. Maximin ended up on the bench, but we're still missing some, two key players there, aren't we? I say key. I mean, Isaac and John Joe Shelby. And then there's, Pontus Janssen is a big player for Brentford, isn't he? He's a leader for them. So they really did miss him on Saturday. Hey, there you go, Simon. Well done, mate. Now I can see who you are. Perfect. But yeah, then on to the game. Before we kicked off, obviously, War Flags did their display. It's got mixed reviews, to be fair, because a lot of people are saying, why are we giving TalkSport and Sky Sports, coverage after the way they've been with us on the takeover and the way that they, spoke poorly about us at times. I like the one down the right-hand side where it had all the signings and out it had Ashley at the bottom. But everyone's, what did you make of it, Blade? I mean, I loved it, to be honest with you personally, because it's how it gets announced on Sky Sports. And, the whole deader than a dead thing really come back to haunt Simon Jordan, didn't it?
Yeah, that one did. I laughed at that one. The screens in Shearer's didn't really show much of it. I think we saw about 20 seconds of the full banners, and then something obviously went wrong with the ticker tape one at the ground.
One going along the bottom there, they didn't have it quite synced, unfortunately, but it was still good.
Yeah, I mean, it's nice. I just think as celebration-wise, I think they could have went bigger in the celebrating as opposed to, it was almost like reminding people about kind of the bad times. Like there was a bit too much stuff we wanted changed when they came in and not more a celebration.
Yeah.
So I was in kind of two minds on it.
Yeah, so some people said, why didn't they put the Kevin Keegan quote up? Keep supporting your club. This is our club. One day you'll have it back. That speech. I think we've used that before, if I can remember rightly. Liam, what did you see a good view of it from where you were sitting?
I thought it was great from where I was sat. The only thing that I was gutted that didn't work out for them was you can see how crumpled the flag's got a bit at the top. I thought that was a bit of a shame, but at the same time, I thought, you know what, it's a good way of rubbing it in with TalkSport and just showing not to listen to them and understand how much crap they actually speak.
Yeah, there is that side of it as well. It's
especially a good old Gabby, everyone loves him.
Gabby, Jesus Christ, a bungler ball.
Never scored a goal against Newcastle.
Exactly. I think Eddie is easing back players after injury. In the past, players have been rushed back only to break down again. Yeah, true, Graham. Well said. That could be the reason. But I think Joe Linton was 100% fit. So I just thought, he should be smashed straight back into the team, if I'm honest with you. But there we go. I loved it. And all who complained are just jealous of us. Yeah, there was loads of people on Twitter. Obviously, our friend Steve, South Coast Palace, was like, oh, look at this. What a load of crap. I just said we're just celebrating a year of, freshness and, optimism and all this sort of stuff. So I loved it. Some more little pictures. So these are all the goals. One of them's doubled up because we only scored 5, not 6. But it was refreshing, wasn't it? We scored 5 goals, man. Honestly, I still can't believe it. It was absolutely crazy. The opener, if we talk about that one, because that was a great goal, especially because it was a free kick. They worked it out, with Trippier running around it and then passing it to him and then floating it to the back post where Bruno was there to head it in. It was just an absolute magic goal because of the way they worked it. And it kind of settled us down a little bit after the scare because there was the offside. They obviously went ahead very early.
I came back up. I was like, what's happening there?
Peter, our nurse, is in the toilet now watching. Good evening, Peter. I hate Steve. He's so anti-Newcastle. That is true. But Blade, it was a scare. It was offside, though, apparently. I still haven't seen it yet. But what an absolute finish from Bruno, and what a clever free kick it was.
Yeah, I liked Bruno's interview, what he gave after the game as well, where he's talking about how Eddie's helped him with heading. When he first came to the club, Eddie pulled him to one side and was like, Bruno, you've never scored a headed goal. We'll change that soon. But the way that worked, that free kick, Trips was kind of pretty much near the halfway line. And Bruno was pretending he was tying his shoelaces, which completely threw the defence. And then Trips obviously gets on the ball. Bruno makes his run late. He's completely unmarked. Nobody picks him up whatsoever. And Burns kind of doing a blocking job in the middle of the 6-yard box, allowing Bruno to go in unchallenged. It was an awesome free kick routine.
Yeah. And there was a few of the routines they used yesterday, which were fantastic, and we nearly got more from them. It's a shame that we used them all in one game when we could have saved some for maybe another game. But then Jacob Murphy scores, and this is, Wilson, if you look at his stats on SofaScore, he got a poor rating, but I thought Wilson led the line really well yesterday. And Hayes closing down from the goalkeeper's error gets us the goal. And he was so clever, because I thought when Wilson got it on his left foot and when he was inside the box on the left-hand side, I thought he was going to bury this or try and shoot him. Maybe it's safe. But then he noticed Murphy was free inside the box and squared it to him perfectly, and he slotted it away. I think if that was the other way around, I think Murphy shoots if he was in Wilson's position. And that's where his intelligence sometimes lets him down. But let's not criticise him. He had a good game yesterday, and it was a good goal. And it was a team goal in a way, Liam, because of the closing down, the pressing from everyone to force that mistake from the goalkeeper, and then the cleverness of Wilson to set it up.
Yeah, definitely. I said to the guy that sat next to us yesterday, I says the one thing that you look at between Wilson and Isaac, for instance, is Wilson likes to drop deeper and he collects the ball and he gets all the team sort of involved with the transition and the play of the actual game. Isaac struggles a bit with that, and I noticed this when he played. He doesn't sort of like drop deeper and try and collect the ball and get the midfield sort of moving around. I think
likes
that's
to play
on
the line, doesn't he?
Yeah, he likes to get in behind. I think the one thing he needs to realise is the Premier League's different. Alexa.
It just started. I don't know why. I didn't even say anything. It's got a mind of its own.
I think that's a good thing with him. Like Isaac will learn in time that obviously he needs to come deeper when the team's struggling to get it up towards him and get people involved. But Wilson, he's an all-round team player. He's not selfish on the ball. He's calm on the ball, and you know what? You just seen his teamwork yesterday. He got his head up and looked. I mean, there was a chance where we could have made another goal where I think he went through and there was two of the men running into the box. I only realised this because of Match of the Day when I watched it back. If he had got his head up, there could have been another goal, because I think it was when
he shot and he got blocked, didn't he?
Yeah, something like that. Yeah. And there was two of them running in the box, and if he'd got his head up there, it was probably another goal as well. But at the end of the day, he's a team player, in my opinion. He's solid.
This is where you've got to take stats with a pinch of salt sometimes, because I thought he led the line brilliantly. Some of his touches when he was bringing the ball down from the air was absolutely fantastic. For me, that was Callum Wilson's best game for us. I disagree with that. I think that was against Arsenal last season. Maybe this season it was his best game, but for me, it was against Arsenal. I thought he was fantastic then. Alexa, what do you think of Sunderland?
I think they're very talented athletes.
Oh, shit.
That backfired. Alexa, turn off, please. Don't ever talk to me again. I know we've not seen much of Isaac because of injury, but I'm not completely sold on him yet. Oh, Kevin, give him time. Give him time. Him and Wilson have worked really well together, I think. Yeah, sorry. This season, that's fair enough, Simon. I mean, I thought he was great against Forest as well, but his all-round general play yesterday was superb, and he deserved better than the stats give him. Tony obviously equalises, brings it back to 2-1. So we're 2-0 up at half-time, cruising. I go for my burger and chips because I'm starving because I've had nothing to eat all day. Burgers have really improved, by the way. The food is much better than what it was under Bruce. I was actually quite impressed.
The bottles come down as well.
And yes, it is full of shit, Peter. Who knew? Yeah, the prices have come down. I mean, it was £10.50 for burger, chips, and a bottle of Coke, which I thought was quite nice. And the burgers were really good. There weren't these skinny little things that McDonald's do. It was a proper burger. So well impressed with that. I then go back to my seat and they've got a penalty. I'm like, what the fuck's going on? I completely missed it. So Blade, you obviously probably saw that better than me. Can you tell me why the penalty was given? And he took it very cool and calmly, Tony, after all of the games that Newcastle were trying to play.
Yeah, I mean, I've watched it back again on Match of the Day this morning as well, and they're saying his hands in an unnatural position, but his back's up, is arched, he's fallen backwards. He's a big guy. So to me, his hand is in a natural position because he's trying to use his arm to right his body position. The header comes from behind him. He's facing the other way. He can't see where that guy's heading the ball. So for me, I'd have said it wasn't a penalty. But then again, I've seen a couple of the day that are still more penalties. And they haven't been given.
Mental. But he did put it away well, though. Very cool. I don't like his run up, only a couple of steps. I'm not a fan of that, but he sent Pope the wrong way. And after all the crap he was getting, he obviously gave the years to the crowd and stuff like that. But he did take it well, didn't he?
He did, yeah. I mean, that's 21 now. He's scored in a row without missing.
It's not bad, is it? That's what you want from your penalty taker. Kevin, let's not get her involved again after what she just said the last time there. So she'll probably come up with something, well, it's not his fault.
It's a great manager.
Yeah, exactly.
Games, he knows what he's doing.
Exactly. I can't beat a burger from a burger van. Bun was a bit careless, in my opinion. Burn was a bit careless, in my opinion, I should say. But I didn't. I need to watch the highlights. Bun. I know I said bun there for some reason. Very tired. Sorry, guys. I'm a referee and I say no penalty, but I can see why it was given. Yeah, it's this VAR when it gets involved and stuff like that. But it worked in our favour because it gave the offside, didn't it? Wouldn't it be easier if they said if the arm's not down by your side, it's a pen? But when you're jumping, your arms go up. This is the problem. You use them for leverage, don't you? And if you're falling backwards, then there's the other case as well. So when they scored, I was sitting there going, this could be a bit of a tasty second half. They might start coming back up. I had 3-2 in Super 6. So I was thinking, maybe they can get another one in the 90th minute and we'll go away winning 3-2. But no, Bruno had other ideas, didn't he? He literally grabbed the game by the scruff of the neck. A few minutes after they scored that penalty, 2 minutes, Bruno picked the ball up on the left-hand side and he just drove at the defence. Now it's just screaming, shoot! And then he just absolutely buried it in the bottom corner, Liam. Sent us all into raptures again. And he's magic, isn't he?
Oh, he's absolutely sensational. It just shows you the calibre of a player that you've got that's so talented. And it just, even watching how he played in the match and where he's tackling and things like that, and he's just, how he brings sort of the passing and things like that with his game is unbelievable. There was times I think where he switched the play to Trippier at one point, and I think it nearly led to a goal. And the pass, I mean, there's only one other person that can compare to him that would see the pass, and I shouldn't because he's not as world class as Bruno is. Is Shelvey. Shelvey's the only other person that I would see come on the pitch that would see that kind of pass. And I think the fact that we've got someone that's much better than Shelvey, can do all these other bits and bobs, and could spot the passes like that is unbelievable. But yesterday was just, I've been begging for it. The only thing I was devastated he didn't score the hat-trick. I would have loved to see Bruno get a hat-trick before he went off.
Yeah. Did Bruno's long shot take a slight deflection from Wilson's shirt? I don't think so, because it was along it was along the ground as well, wasn't it? So pretty much along the ground. From where I was, it looked like it was along the ground. But it was a great strike. And at that point, when you've just conceded, what a way to respond. And now I don't think in the past, especially under a certain other manager, we wouldn't have responded like that. And it shows you the talent that Bruno is and how driven he is to win football matches, because that's what he did. He just went, sod this, I'm getting the ball, I'm going to make something happen, and he did. Gordon Boot misses next match. Oh, that's interesting. I'm trying to keep an eye on the game. I'm not too fussed. Probably like a draw in this, to be fair, because we want to keep Man United away from us, don't we? But there you go. So then after that, obviously it settled down a little bit, the game. I think Brentford's heads went down at that point. Bruno went down a couple of times with cramp, and I said, we've got to get him off. And they've eventually got subbed off, but I think they should have done it a lot earlier. I know he was on a hat trick, but he's that special and that important to our team. For me, he needed to come off as early as possible. We're definitely looking for goal of the season then, yeah. What about Miggy? What a lad. Are you watching, Jackie boy? We're just about to come on to Miggy because obviously he scores the next goal. And again, it's absolute fantastic closing down, and it's a mistake from the goalkeeper. But again, if you're not in those positions and having that desire to close the keeper down, like Miggy has for so many games, and he does it time and time again, Blade, he earned that goal just from his work rate alone. And obviously the cleverness and quickness to knock it round the keeper and then put it in the empty net.
Yeah, I mean, he was close within the first 5 minutes. He nearly had bar virtually erupted with that shot. And again, that was a crossfield ball from Bruno to set him on the way.
Did he hit the bar? I thought the keeper saved it and tipped it over.
Yeah, I meant we were in the bar.
Oh, in the bar, sorry. I thought you meant he hit the bar and it rattled. I was like, what?
Yeah, so he had that one. And then it wasn't just the pressing of Miggy for that goal. It was the fact that 3 other players went with him with the press, which basically cut off all angles. But yeah, the way Miggy just hunted it down, kept his cool, took it around the keeper and just smashed it in. And then running away with that massive grin on his face and grabbing the Paraguayan flag. Though that was genius.
Yeah, it was. It was brilliant. I could see what he was doing, but I just couldn't see it. I was that far away. So, but it was brilliant. Who would be the special guest before next week to represent Man United? Well, I've John Sinclair, but he's busy. Maisie's busy. I don't know, Kevin. I need to start asking people on Twitter who would like to come on. I do have a lot of Man United friends, but they just don't seem to be interested in coming on, which is a shame because they know a lot about football. But I will hopefully have a guest. What do you guys think? VAR, I think if VAR can't make a decision within 30 seconds and look at an offside or anything that VAR look at, go with the on-field referee. We've covered all that in a video, Simon. So if you go back and watch my VAR changes I would make, that is one of them. That if the decision's not made or can't be made fast enough, it shouldn't be given. But what I would like to say, though, is why was the referee reviewing it on the pitch when it's an offside decision? You're offside, you're offside. That's what the lines are for.
Oh, they were looking at whether or not Tony interfered with the through ball.
Right.
And if he affected Shaw. Because when I watched the match of the day, Shaw reacts to Tony, which stops him actually blocking the pass. So that's what they were looking at.
Fair enough. I'm not bringing
You've started something now. You're going to have to start a video. Ask Alexa.
Yeah. That's not. Be careful. Shh, be quiet. They might turn back on again. Goldberg, that crazy fella. Steve Bruce to rep Man U. Yeah, could you imagine? Did you watch a Kevin over the moon when they scored in added time first half, then scored a pen? Evening all, hope everyone's well, happy and enjoy the show. And no, I didn't. I'm not too sure what we're talking about, but there we are. So Miggy scores, makes it 4-1. I thought that was going to be the end of it. I got up out my seat to leave the ground early because I wanted to get into the pub. And as I was walking out up the steps, walking up the steps, I turned around and Joe Linton's down the left-hand side, smashes one across the box, and then there's an own goal from Pinnock. I felt a bit sorry for them at that point because the heads went down completely. But does 5-1 flatter us, Liam? Or I personally don't think it did. I thought we were excellent, but
I thought we were amazing. But I thought, honestly, it shocked us to the fact of I thought Brentford were going to come and give us an absolute solid match, and they shocked us to how they played. I think the one thing I always said as well, though, going back obviously the Miggy goal and then the Wilson transition. The one good thing that we had in the showdown match of the day as well for when Wilson put Murphy's goal in, the way they pressed the defenders and stuff was just so clever. the issue Brentford had was the way the keeper played was ridiculous. So
Yeah.
it was like the keeper should have hit it long. Instead, he tried to go short, and then Wilson had that covered. And then that's when they just had everyone else on the wings moving into play. And it just shows you the level of intensity we started playing now when we've got the players in the right positions. And I think it was also mentioned of some commentator as well that there's apparently now a sign that's in the dressing room saying that intensity is our identity or something now. Eddie Howe has in there, which I think is pretty like cool if that's a thing.
I think it will be. Goldberg's ask him to join on Friday. Oh God, no, I'm not speaking to that. I know he's got a load of followers and all that, but he won't come on our channel. We're too small for him. Yeah, exactly. And we're too small for him.
One of them.
That's great, Simon. Look for the VAR one, mate. That's the one you want to watch. I did a little video on it. If the five or six top changes I would make to it, and you can have a little listen to whether you agree with me and drop a comment to whether you do or don't. But yeah, it was nice to see Maxi get on. It was nice to see Joe Linton back. It's nice to see Target get on as well. It was nice to see Howe making changes when he needed to. I think he should have made them a little bit earlier again, though, to rest the players properly. But over and all, it was a 5-1 hammering. I didn't expect it at the start of the day. I was actually on the train on the way home today. I ended up sitting with quite a lot of Brentford fans, and there was a lady next to us who's been a season ticket for 30 years, but she also used to go to Newcastle games because she used to go to uni up here. And she said she expected a hammering. I was like, really? I honestly thought it was going to be a tight game. She was like, no, Newcastle are different now. I expected to get hammered, and I expected to be challenging Man City in 2 years' time. And I was just like, no, a little bit longer than that. But hey, Dan Burner's captain, awesome for him. Yeah, he got the captain's armband in the second half when we started making the subs. And I love Miggy's smile, says Kevin. Yeah, we all do. It's infectious. So here's a quiz question for you guys. When was the last time we scored 5 goals in a Premier League game?
I have a slight feeling it was Man United years ago when.
Nope.
No.
We've actually done it. Nope, that was in the Championship. So the last time we scored 5 goals in the Championship, I can't believe I'm doing a quiz question, but there you go. It was against Preston North End. We beat them 6-0 when they had a sending off, and that was 25th of October 2016.
Oh.
For the Championship. But when was the last time we did it in the Premiership? Without cheating, Liam, and trying to Google it, I heard those keyboard going.
I thought we were just joining in.
I love it. I thought it would be 3-2 to us. I did 3-2 as well. You keep thinking about that one. In the Prem versus Spurs with Rafa. Well done, Miggs.
Oh, he Googled that. You Googled that. Don't lie.
The 15th of May 2016, Mitrovic was sent off.
Ah, yes.
And we beat them 5-1 when we got relegated on the last day of the season.
I was in that match.
You were close, Kevin, with Tottenham. And again, no, it was Spurs, mate. These were years ago. Shearer scored 5 in that game. Shearer scored 2 in that game, I think. And there was Rob Lee. Albert scored as well. Ferdinand scored 2 as well. That was a good game. It was definitely against Spurs, yeah. So it was Spurs. They had a man down
as well, didn't they?
Yeah, we had a man down, yeah. We lost. Mitrovic got himself sent off, didn't he? That was the last game he played for us, I believe. No, he was still here, wasn't he?
He
helped us in the Championship, didn't he? Yeah. But the writing was on the wall for him, wasn't it? Right. I asked Robin, our guest of honour, who was the Brentford fan who was at a wedding rather than the game. I know he was gutted to miss it, but I asked him who his man in the match was for Brentford. He said basically the only reason why I'm giving it to Tony is because he scored. He said there wasn't much to really enjoy, but Tony did quite a lot defensively as well as in attack. He did score 1. He had a shot blocked as well. Key passes 1. You know, he won 3 out of 8 ground duels, 3 out of 7 aerial duels, and that's not bad when you're going against Botman and Shaw because they're very good in the air. He was fouled 3 times. He made 4 clearances. I think he blocked 1 on the line as well, if I can remember rightly. So he did all right. There's a few chats flying in here. Couldn't Couldn't really celebrate. We were relegated though. So happy not to count. Yeah, I know, but we did enjoy that day though, and the ground was amazing. And then Rafa stayed because of it on the back of it. I'm amazed Newcastle. Yeah, exactly. I was amazed with the first game of Match of the Day last night. I didn't know that. I didn't watch it. I'm going to tell you how my night ended near the end of the show. All right, lads, just in from the pub, waiting for my beta to arrive. Cracking result yesterday. Brilliant, Mick. What you having? You having Chinese, Indians? What pizza? What you having, pal? Not actually called Robin Hood, or am I wrong? No, the lads at Brentford call him Robin Hood, but he's called Robin. Yes, like Kevin Pryor, nothing but praise. Exactly. Right, so for us, I want to obviously talk about Miggy again. 1 goal, 2 shots on target, 1 shot off target, 1 blocked, 2 dribble attempts. He's starting to do that a lot now. I'm trying to take players on again, which is really good to see. 1 successful. 81% passing accuracy, a little bit worse than last week, but he won 2 out of his 3 ground duels, which obviously resulted in one of the goals. He only lost possession 12 times, which isn't a lot when you think about it. And he made 1 tackle. I thought he was superb again. And is this the new Miggy now, Blade? Is this what we need to see week in, week out? And can he deliver it?
He's always had the potential to deliver it. Sorry, my voice still isn't recovered from yesterday. Yeah, he's always had the potential to do it, but now he's actually doing it. I think the big thing with Miggy now is he's got a relationship with Bruno. It's Bruno that's finding him all the time. And I think in training, Bruno must be like encouraging him all the time. Hit them.
Yeah, do the run, make the runs, and Bruno finds him every single time, doesn't he? He's superb. I think Grealish has lit Miggy's fire, but a lot of people have been saying that. I just think it's always been there. And like Blade said, now Bruno's bringing it out of him. This is what Sean Longstaff said about it. Miggy, this is like last week's goal. Miguel Almiron's first goal is unbelievable. He's got that quality on the left foot, and that pass from Bruno Guimaraes is the reason he is going to the World Cup with Brazil. He is a top player, and we're lucky to have him. Which brings us nicely on to the next man, Liam. My man of the match, I think everyone's man of the match, to be honest with you. He was everywhere. He played 78 minutes, and look at what he did in those 78 minutes. He scored 2 goals. He had a passing accuracy of 83%, which is amazing. 2 key passes, 2 out of 6 long balls, 2 shots on target, obviously scored 2 goals, dribbled past 1 successfully. He won 6 out of his 9 ground duels. He only lost possession 14 times. He was fouled once, he made 1 clearance, 4 tackles, and he was only dribbled past once. The man is just irreplaceable.
He's something else, especially from when obviously he had that little injury. You've seen how much he was a miss, and yesterday just I couldn't even describe you of what we were watching when you just seen him yesterday, and the way he got stuck in like he does every single game. But yesterday was just something else. The passing that he can pick out, he's always getting his head up. He's even when like the defenders are getting it, and Nick Pope's got it, you'll see him come close and try and get that sort of transition from where he is to just look for the over the top passes. And I think the one thing he loves is the fact that Miguel Almiron is just always looking and running behind.
Yeah,
and he just thrives off them over the top balls. I think yesterday, especially, he had 3 players that love getting in behind. Obviously, Wilson, Almiron, and Murphy. He was always looking for them, running in behind, and I think it's something that he needs. He needs that sort of drive forward pass because he knows he can reach the player when he's getting in behind. It's scary to watch him because he's that good. It makes you believe, understand how world class he actually is.
Massive shout outs though. I think Man United have just scored a 3rd. It looks like they have, and it looks like Rashford. Yeah, he's tapped it in. Looks like it's a mistake, and that's killed the game now to 3-1 to Man United. But massive shout out to Wilson. Like I mentioned, he led the line brilliantly, I thought, even though his stats don't really show that he had a good game. But on the eye, he did. I thought Willock was excellent again. He was everywhere. Very unlucky not to get a couple of assists himself. He was brilliantly helping out Murphy a lot. And then also Botman just looked like a Rolls Royce in that centre back position. Rashford's got really lucky, but he's got lucky twice. He just looked immense. Burn looked immense. I thought Sean Longstaff did all right again as well. But again, the man of the match is definitely Bruno. Put in the comments who your man of the match is, and I'm sure I'm just going to be reading loads of Bruno. But just in case anyone else has got anything different. Mick's favourite topping is a meat feast. So is mine, but it has to be from Papa John's. It's the only way I'll get pizza. Not a full rounded 9.0 bars. This is how SofaScore do their stats, mate. It's taken completely from their website. It's a great website as well. But there we are. Oh, is it going to be ruled out?
Disallowed.
Is it? Oh,
Yeah.
must have hit his arm or something. That is ridiculous. What? Here we go. So he goes round. Oh, that is harsh. I mean, no one's even looking at a handball there, to be honest with you, but that is harsh.
Wow.
It's just one of those things. Love how your facial expressions acknowledge some of my comments. It is brilliant. I always acknowledge comments, mate. Always. I hope it's been mentioned. Your spot on prediction. Yeah, we have to come on to that, don't we? Well done, Blade. Your ridiculous prediction. You're always going to get one right, I suppose. But well done. 5-1. Goal's been disallowed, Peter. I'm worried about January now over Bruno. I'm not even close to being worried about him.
He'll be excited to see who they're bringing in.
Yes. Kevin, yeah, I'm looking forward to the game next week as well. Bruno all day. Bruno. Oh, Rashi, that was handy. I don't know. I think that's harsh, to be honest with you, to rule it out, but there you go. I'll just pop that up for a minute. How officially is Bruno's surname pronounced? Seems to be various versions of it. I call him Guimaraes, but some people say it's Guimaraes.
Or whatever it's called. I've seen that a few times.
But just stick with Bruno, mate. It's a lot easier. And he's definitely going nowhere. He loves the club far too much. It's mental. Another little quote about Murphy. He says all the right things. I do like Murphy. I just think he's not a very good footballer. That's the problem. We've all got pride in the badge, and we're all proud to be here. It's about kicking on and taking us to the heights that we know this club is capable of. It's not about coming here and turning up. It's about putting a marker down and writing our name in history. I think we're heading in the right direction. Blade, when you hear that, it's just, you've got to like the guy, haven't you, really? I mean, I don't dislike him. I just don't think he's at the level that we need to push forward. But yesterday, he proved us a little bit wrong, but we need to see some consistency.
Yeah, I agree with you. I mean, the past 2 games, he's been all right, but it's his end product that lets him down. I mean, he couldn't have missed yesterday. Well, he could. No. He could have hit the post. I think that often enough. But yeah, it's just that final. It's his final ball or his final touch. Sometimes you just think like, will you just get your head up and have a look, have a think about what you're doing with it. But yeah, I mean, he could be a confidence player, but realistically, he's not going to get a run of games.
Yeah, I kind of agree with Kevin that he's a championship player or he's a lower league, Premier League player potentially. Yeah. Oh, no, definitely not that far down. He's got pace. He's got something about him. I think championship level, he's at the top end of championship level, but he's at the bottom end of Premier League level. That's kind of where I sit him at. Speaking to my former father-in-law who lived in Brazil for 15 years, it's pronounced Guimaraes. There we are. Bruno Guimaraes. How you pronounce it? Hey, I don't know. I'm terrible with pronunciations. But Bruno, fantastic. Murphy says all the right things. He is a Newcastle fan after all as well, like Sean Longstaff and things like that. So, if you keep smiling and keeps putting in those kind of performances, you'll be a decent squad player until we can get better players around. I got a wave of Dan Ashworth coming out into heavy traffic. Nice one, Paul. Sorry we didn't meet up. Obviously, it was rammed, and you unfortunately messaged my other Twitter account, which on match days I'm very rarely in. And I didn't see the message that you were in the Strawberry, so I apologise for that. But we did end up everywhere. We ended up in the Strawberry, then into the Dog and Parrot, then into Humphreys, and then into Shearer's Bar, and then into the match. So it was just a crazy day. I love you guys. You are the best Toon channel, better than John Sinclair. Toon Review. Paul Gallant is in the chat. Thanks, John. Really appreciate the kind words. I don't think we're better than anybody else, to be honest with you. I just think we just do what we do, and everyone else has got great channels as well. But we really appreciate that you enjoy watching ours, mate. It makes our night when we hear things like that. So thank you so much. Murphy is like Norwich, too good for the Championship, but rubbish for the Prem. Yeah, spot on, Kevin. Well summarised. I think he's looked better having been given the chance. It's just never he gets in ahead of ASM. That is it as well, though. He's not going to get ahead of ASM. He's not going to get ahead of Almiron. I think he knows that as well. And there's Fraser as well. Fraser's technically slightly better, but I mean, he's not been great either.
Let's not get wrong when we'll play Man United next Sunday.
Yeah, well, yeah. Sorry that sounded terrible because he did score, but he's not calmed people's worries over him. No, I agree, Kevin. I think we're all in the same boat with him, isn't he? I've been watching the Everton Man United game. This Iwobi fella gets about mind. Yeah, Iwobi's really turned his career around at Everton. If we continue to rack up results, if we continue to rack up results like the last two, teams are going to be worried about us. It's been a long time since we were that good. You're absolutely right, Mick. 9 goals, only conceding 2. It's crazy. John Lenny, I agree. Thanks, Kevin. I appreciate that. And Paul says, hi, John. Paul's obviously a legend. He gives everyone a shout out and he supports everyone. So and we support his channel as well. So please check out Paul's channel. John Lenny, better than one with the stats. I'll let you think who I mean. Right. Some other stats that were shown. I've got to put it up here. Newcastle's intensity. This is what you were talking about, Liam. We are top of the list on high turnovers and shots ending in turnovers. So 94 turnovers resulting in 17 efforts on goal. I'd like that to be a bit higher, but it shows you the more times you turn the ball over, especially when it's higher up the pitch, you've got chances of scoring. And obviously we did that yesterday. We're scoring 2.
Yeah, honestly, if you look at our sort of style of play now compared to a year ago, you'd understand that the way Eddie Howe shifted the team to do what they do now is just unbelievable. And if this whole sort of statement of what he's got in the dressing room is true, I just think if you just get that into players' heads, as that's how you want to play and that's how you want to be announced as legends and things like that of this club. It just shows you that, he has a mentality there, and that's his sort of mentality and style of play when he's on the pitch. He wants to be high press and he wants to be really intense. And I just think it's exciting football. It's not boring football. It's not. The one thing I love as well is even when we were 4-5-1 up yesterday, this intensity levels never drop once. Normally, when we've seen it in the past where they'll take off an attacker, for instance, and they'll put a defender on and will defend the game. This time, where Eddie Howards, we're bringing on players and we're going to still play the same formation and we're going to keep going. We're going to score more goals. And I just think that's one thing I really, really love about Eddie Howe. He keeps going and he wants that that goal tally at the end of the season to be massive. And I think it's going to be quite honest if you look at it.
Yeah. It'd be nice to have a positive one by the end of the season, which I feel like we are doing it. Channel feels the love, though. We hope you enjoy the shows. Well said, Migs. Like I say, we don't like to talk about other channels. We don't like to slag them off. Everyone is brave to get in front of a camera and do what they do. We just like to do what we do, and we'll keep on enjoying it. And like I said on the last show, I don't know if more people are watching this one, though, but Liam is going to be a big part of the channel. He's going to be doing his own content on here as well. Everton should have scored. He's going to be doing some gaming content as well and stuff like that to keep the shows, basically keep the channel running 24/7 almost, or at least every day. If you like your FIFA and championship managers and stuff like that, Liam's going to be the guy doing that, and he's going to help out when I'm at work as well. So, welcome Liam officially. Officially. Anyone laughing at West Bromwich Derby owners right now? Do you know as I feel more sorry for them? I really do. But the fans knew what they were getting themselves into because we told them. They just didn't listen. Yes, it was PD's birthday yesterday. It was mine on Wednesday. I didn't get to see him, unfortunately, because we went in different directions and bars. He has different taste in music and stuff like that, so we didn't get a chance to bump into him. Miggy seems to be scoring all the time. Double figures ×2 for him come May. I said 10 goals or more would be a great season for him. He's on 4 now. No reason why he can't get another 6 by the end of the season. And if he does that, we're going to be winning more games than what we're losing or drawing. So it's all good. How's he saved that? 91st minute, and De Gea's pulled off an unbelievable save here. Yeah, that's a great save. Oh, man. Damn it. Right. Agree with you, Baz. I feel sorry for West Bromwich Albion, but then can't stop laughing. Yeah. Oh, he's put it wide from the corner. Calvert-Lewin wants another corner, but he's not getting it. Right, so obviously match finished. Walked out, went to the Strawberry, had a drink on my own because no one could get into the bar. Ended up in the Goose with Ken. Ken's a lovely bloke. I ended up getting a ticket from my mate off him, and he got a better seat than me. I was fucking well pissed off. I couldn't believe his fucking luck. But then I met up with, obviously, with Kev Blade on the screen, Julie and her husband, Tom, the mod, who's in Denmark. And we all out and got a little bit drunk, enjoying ourselves in a few bars. That was in Gotham, I think, when I took that one, or the old Gotham. And then we were walking to the next bar. Tom, obviously, being from Denmark, had never had a Greg's. So I walked straight into never had a Greg. So I walked straight in. I said, right, you're going to have a pasty. He's like, what's a pasty? I went, don't talk to us, mate. Not until you've eaten a pasty, so you know what you're getting yourself into. So I walked in, bought him a sausage and bean melt because I think they're the greatest pasties ever to be made. And his face lit up when he ate it. He was like, oh my God, this is amazing. So yeah, and then I ended up leaving them, going all the way up to Haymarket, went to Munchies 2. Then bad, I needed the toilet, so I ended up pissing in the street somewhere. Can't remember where. And then I walked into Haymarket metro station. All the boards, right, normally have what time the next metro is, don't they? Every single board in there, strikes. I thought, well, I'm not buying it. Yeah, exactly. I was like, I'm not buying a ticket if there's no more trains, no more metros. I don't know what time to finish. This was like 12:30 at night. So I walked all the way down the escalator. It's a big one down Haymarket, innit? Walked onto the platform and the train was just there waiting for us. Hadn't even bought a ticket. I just went, fuck it, and just jumped on it, and I got away with it.
You've confessed too many things, Enough. So if someone from accounting watching you right now, you're done.
Well, it's their own fault, first of all, for not putting on the screens when the metros were coming. Had I known there was a metro there, I would have bought a ticket.
That excuse isn't good enough, I'm afraid. There's your £50 fine.
That could have been the last metro, and I would have been stuck paying like 30 quid for a taxi. It was never going to happen. So I jumped on, had my kebab. It was beautiful. Hadn't had one for ages. And yeah, got a nice free trip home for a change. But I did buy a ticket on the way to Central Station today, so it did make up for it. Right, Miggy seems to have done that one. Agree with you, guys. Yep, done that one. Sounds like Man U have been hanging on. It must be a great chance for Newcastle to win at Old Trafford next week, surely. Oh, it's going to be interesting, but it's a lot harder than you think. They're a different animal at home. But they seem to be holding on. They're in the last minute of extra time at the moment, and they've got another corner. Everton, that is. Got to go. Great show, lads. Thanks for joining, Graham. Really appreciate it, mate. Hit that thumbs up on the way out if you haven't already. Do your feet still stick to the carpet in Gotham? Well, it's not Gotham anymore. It's actually a really posh bar, isn't it, Blade?
Yeah, it's wood floor. It's wood floor, isn't it? Carpet's gone.
Yeah.
It was really nice. Gone.
Yeah, it was really nice. Finished 2-1, by the way. You should have tried the sausage rolls. They're the best thing of Greg's. Yeah, I'm more of a pasty man, though.
They were rolling. That's why they were that drunk, man. They were already doing the sausage roll.
Yeah, exactly. Did your friend had a donut from Greg's? No, he didn't have it. I just bought him a pastry, and he just absolutely loved it. And we showed him a few of the sites around Newcastle and told him where to go because he was going back to Denmark today at some point. So he's obviously not tuning in today. He's probably on a plane. But we had a really good time, as you can see. Absolutely amazing. And I wish I could do it all over again and have more people like yourself out, Liam. Right, let's have a quick look at the table because it does look good. However, this was taken before this game finished tonight. So Man United have overtaken us and knocked us into 6th now. But guys, I mean, a few VAR decisions and we could have been sitting 4th on 18 points, couldn't we, really, in my eyes? But it's still, though, to be in that position with that many points, considering what last season was like, only losing 1 game, it's pretty incredible, isn't it, Liam?
Yeah, and especially when that 1 game is just like a team that probably should have either got a point against or won the game due to the stupid decisions in there. But once again, my prediction at the start of this, before the full season kicked off, was 7th. So if we stay 6th, I'm over the moon.
There's going to be a lot of up and downs. Yeah, a long way to go. We played 9 games, with some have only played 8. Remember as well. So if those games go against us, we could find ourselves further down the table. But Blade, it's some start though, isn't it, compared to what we were used to?
Yeah, it's a massive start. Just we've carried on the momentum from last season. Okay, we've had probably too many draws, but I mean, it's just nice to not fear relegation for once in 15 years.
Yeah, absolutely spot on. It's mental. I still take top 8. I'll say anything between 7th and 10th. Brighton v Newcastle for the 7th could be tasty. Could be. I think Brighton, I mean, they were unlucky against Spurs not to get a point.
I think that luck's going to run out, though.
Potentially, yeah. It all depends who they sign, I guess. But it's going to be interesting. Bournemouth, if you see Bournemouth will drop. But they've drawn a lot of games recently as well, just racking up those little points. But I think their luck will run out as well, because I don't think they've got the quality there to turn those draws into wins, and I think it'll eventually catch up on them. Yeah, I think Brentford are going to be fine. I think it was just an off day. I've said that to the Brentford fans I've spoken to. You'll be fine this season. But we're just looking up now, which is so nice to do, so refreshing. Right, when are we back? I will be back on PDP's channel on Tuesday night, where I'll be doing the Premier League. I won't be doing it, but I'll be part of the Premier League review because I've got a week off work, which is nice. We'll be back on Wednesday night for Gallagher Girls. And then I'll need to do the look ahead, which will be a Thursday or Friday, as long as we find a Man United fan. And Liam might have something lined up, but I know he's got his wedding to plan, so I know he's not quite there. We've also got our challenges to get in by tomorrow as well, guys. Got your challenges to get in round the clock on the dartboard. They need to be in tomorrow. So I need to do mine as well, to be fair. I'm surprised they are 8th, to be fair to them. Gary O'Neill is making them play better. He is. He's done really well. It just shows you pick up a couple of wins and you fly up that table, but that'll start to get harder as the season goes on. But yeah, keep an eye on the channel, guys. Hit the subscribe button, hit the bell button so you know that we're live. Consider being a member and supporting the channel that way, because we do a prize draw every month almost. Sometimes every 2 months, depending on the prize. But Kevin Keegan's signed photograph is this month's prize. I'll be picking it up on the 28th of October. I'm going to draw it before the 28th, and I'm going to try and get him to personally sign it for the winner. So it's an interesting prize. So if you want to be within a chance of winning that, it's 99p a month. It's absolutely nothing. So please consider that. And until next time, enjoy the rest of your evening, everyone. And I hope it's a good week at work for you. Because I'm off. Yay.